I wanted to speak about black cohosh today, and black cohosh is a root that we use and make into a fresh tincture. We grow a lot of black cohosh here on our farm, here in Maine, our biodynamic farm at Avena, and we make some beautiful, beautiful. All of our black cohosh root tincture comes from our gardens. I've been growing black cohosh probably for over 20 years here, and we have various places where black cohosh is growing. And just want to say to really honor this plant, which is native to us here in the Northeast and up into what we know as today as Canada. It was a very, very, and still is a very, very important plant for Indigenous people, particularly Indigenous women who are working in tending and caring for women's health. So just say a few things about black cohosh. There's something for me about roots that they're under the ground, and we let black cohosh grow for 4 to 5 years before we dig the roots. We dig the roots in the fall, and black cohosh roots to me both helping to root us and also helping sometimes for us to bring into light sometimes things that we that live in the shadows that we can't see so clearly. And I think black cohosh, just a little bit of black cohosh root sometimes, just even 3 to 5 drops of black cohosh root. Sometimes if we're working through, particularly I think of in women's health, black cohosh root can be helpful when there's a lot of tension and tightness during the menstrual cycle. It can help to bring some ease and relaxation to the muscles and that kind of tension and cramping. So it's used very specifically for a certain amount of time when there's that tightness and constriction, and also kind of a sense of a little bit of maybe uncertainty and irritability. And black cohosh has become sort of, shall we say, very kind of well known for the menopause time. And I want to say that black cohosh does give some real support for folks going through menopause. And I also want to remind us that every single person's experience of menopause or experience of through the menstruating years is unique to you. So black cohosh may be supportive to you, and it might be that there's other herbs that are also more specific for your needs. But black cohosh, for the early stage and going through menopause, does really help with some of the hormones that can become really imbalanced. So black cohosh does bring a little bit more ease and settling to the real erraticness of hormones changing, especially for folks who are feeling a sense of kind of hopelessness, despair, unsettledness, uneasy, irritable, anxious. Black cohosh can be useful when taken on a daily basis to help to bring some ease and more balance to those hormonal shifts going on through menopause. Also, when I imagine, I love how this plant is growing in summer, just this beautiful, quite a tall, this whole tall white flowering stalk, just full of hundreds and hundreds of flowers. And sometimes I imagine when I'm needing just a sense of more balance, sometimes I just imagine like the flower of black cohosh kind of just going up my whole spine all the way up to my head, because that's how long those beautiful flowering racemes are, full of bees. And so I think of black cohosh, it's like just kind of leaning into the spirit of black cohosh. As I said, really helping to bring ease to those hormonal shifts, but also really helping us to perhaps to see what's in the shadows to help us in our journey as human beings. And the transition into menopause and beyond menopause is a really, really big transition for folks. So black cohosh, even in small doses or a little bit of 15, 20 drops for some may be helpful. You have to find that for yourself. But the doses, I always say, start smaller, 5 drops, 7 drops, see how that feels for you to go up a little bit more. So really want to encourage people living in the Northeast, and you can, in the more northern climate, to grow black cohosh. It prefers to grow in partial shade or full shade, and it's just a really important plant for people to be growing because it's been really over harvested in the wild. So just as far as for gardeners to consider, and not just like one plant, but consider growing black cohosh in a community, like 7 plants or 10 plants, because that's my experience. Black cohosh really grows in a community way. So being able to really support black cohosh growing and getting more and more and more people growing black cohosh, so we won't lose this incredibly valuable medicinal herb, that we'll be able to have her growing really safely and prolifically in people's gardens. So yeah, wishing each of you who are considering growing black cohosh to just go for it and enjoy the beauty of this flowering plant in summer.